Britain is reportedly going to abandon 1,800 armoured vehicles in Afghanistan. The Sunday Times reports the relatively new vehicles like Mastiffs and Warthogs will be left there because it's cheaper than bringing them home. Will Inglis is here. Will, is this true?
Well, we do know that the Army doesn't actually want a lot of these vehicles. It all comes down really to the way that they were bought in the first place. You'll remember that snatch Land Rovers, for instance, proved notoriously inadequate for the IEDs of Iraq and then Afghanistan. So Britain bought something like a dozen new vehicle types, including Warthogs, Mastiffs and so on. Each one, though, needs its own supply of spares, its own training programme, that sort of thing. And it's just not sensible in the long term to have that many different vehicle types basically performing the same function. Now, the MOD tells me that work is underway to identify which should be brought into core, should be kept for the longer term. We know that Foxhound, for instance, will become the new light protected patrol vehicle for posterity, and I understand as well that Mastiff will be around for the next decade or so.
So why leave them in Afghanistan if that is actually what happens in the end?
Well, I have to say this figure of 1,800 seems a little over the top, to be perfectly honest. But much like we did in Iraq, we may well gift some of these vehicles to the local security forces. The bottom line is that any of them, while unsuitable for the British, is going to be a lot safer than a pickup truck, which is really the alternative. You do say the cost, of course, of transporting them home, but that's not really the major issue. The problem here is that these are actually owned by the Treasury. They're bought as urgent operational requirements. If Defence wants to keep them, it's going to have to come up with the money for them. And as we know, Defence has other spending priorities at the moment.
All right, well, thank you.